chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. The beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the London Bulldogs and the Green Bay Packers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Here's a quick throw out wide. It's McLaurin. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
At the 34-yard line.
Here we go. Henry. It's outfield. It's outfield.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Here's Brown from the gun on 3rd down. That'll be caught by Jordan Leggett, his tight end. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Brown off to Geis on the screen. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play. And facing a 2nd and long. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down. Brown. He'll get this to his speedster, Paul Richardson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And an alley to run. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And into the end zone. It's a pick-6 and a Packer touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
First down and 10.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Bryce Love, his second touchdown on the season as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and on he goes.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Complete to Jones. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. A big play like that looks familiar, doesn't it? Like we saw a week ago, reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Nothing wrong with being explosive. Nothing wrong with being electric. Nothing wrong with carrying it over from the previous week off to...
And it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Rashawn Gary, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. (7-7), our score after 1.
Score time 7-7.
Here we go. Ring. Switch up. Switch up.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Brown slings this deep from McLaurin. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant to the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Check.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here we go. Check 50.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to come from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. On 2nd down, Love. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
It's taken to the 26. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a 1st. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. He gets it to Thomas. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow can't.
And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. So his struggle is just continuing here in the 1st half, throwing the football. Charles, now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Mike 50. Check three, check three, check three. Watch safety creep, watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
Brown now to throw on third down. Slings it. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. 20, 10, touchdown. Terry McLaurin, 78 yards. And his guys have taken the lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat in there to bury him for a loss of 11. They'll look to throw here. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Montez Sweat able to record his 5th sack of the season. Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's A.J. Cole now. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Fielded at the 33. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now Brown throwing on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Looking to throw. Brown finds a seam inside the 40 and down right around the 37. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line.
How many times have we sat with coordinators, and especially the defensive guys, they've talked about big plays, sacks. They often come in bunches. Well, it may not be a bunch here, but that is the 3rd sack of the game for them.
And around sack 3 or 4, I would think it starts to get in the quarterback's head a little bit.
Not just the quarterback, the offensive play caller, the offensive line, knocks people off balance and changes what they normally do.
13 yards, 1st down, Packers. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. A dump underneath to Jones. And down inside the 15 he goes. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to. Successfully complete one, but you know there's usually a nice comfort zone and throw into the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Second and 10. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Reuben Foster picks it. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. They pick up 12 on the play, and the chains move.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On 1st down, this is Geis. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. The tackle made by Blake Martinez.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 1 at the Packers' 31-yard line.
Check. Over. Mike 51. Oh, yeah.
Brown to throw on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Here's Brown throwing on 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's a rare 2-miss ball game for him now. Normally one of the more dependable guys you're going to find around.
Very unlike him. One of the better kickers in the NFL. And I don't think there's anything wrong with him physically or mechanically. He's just having one of those games.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackled there by Monte Nicholson.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. This complete to Lockett. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A first down there on a pickup of 25. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Again, he'll drop to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Monte Nicholson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A huge play there on the screen pass. 44 yards.
First down.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Check 3, check 3, check 3. Check, 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 check.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
51. Guys, it's game situation. What? Go. Not here. Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go. Here we go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Brown. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On the carry, it's Love. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, You go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
An ideal beginning of the drive there is they'll get 20 and a first down. They're going to look to throw. It's caught. Lockett. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Back to throw now on first down. Left side complete to Lockett. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Tyler Lockett, his third touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a three-point game. Extra point splits the uprights, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So just a three-point game now as they send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Let's 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On second down now, it's Love. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. 5 yards will get them back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And the throw there going to be incomplete. There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to kick it away. Fielded at the 20. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy.
56 to Mike, boys, 56.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw. They'll find Everett there, complete. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Back to throw. Out out to the right. He gets it to Lockett. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Back to throw.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. He's back to throw. He's got Lockett. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Now a first down carry by Jones. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow, wow, wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, it could come back at you a long way.
And a terrific return as they finally do stop him, but not before he's inside the 15.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a third down.
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
Check out me.
They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Blake Martinez. And this one will be brought back to the 22. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet and make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Again, it's Jones. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Here's Jones.
Aaron Jones, the ball carrier. A loss of 5.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and it took a big fourth quarter to do it, but bottom line, they got the job done.
Yeah, it is the bottom line, isn't it? A few anxious moments along the way, though, a few sweaty palms, not just for the team, but for their fans. As you mentioned, down going into the fourth quarter. How about the rally? How about the comeback? Getting it done on both sides of the ball, holding them when they needed to, and finding ways to get points when they had the football.
So for the Packers, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for London, the loss will drop them to 6-2 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.